Hi there, folks. This is Ian here, and today I want to speak about the issue of race. Yeah, race, because people are still thinking in terms of race, the white race, the black race, the yellow race, the whatever race. And I've said, as I've mentioned in previous videos, there is no such a thing as race. There is only the human race. And if you hold on to that there's only the human race, you will cut out the divisions among you. Now, there are some people who are giving their video historical tapes and they still refer to race as if it is something cut in granite. I'm not going to even mention names. There's one particular guy who always speaks of the white race, the European race, as against the black race. Now, let me just warn you, this is you heading onto dangerous roads, dangerous tracks by mentioning that, by saying that, by emphasizing that. Because, listen carefully, there is no difference between people. You may have a darker skin, a lighter skin, or this skin. Now, I grew up in South Africa. I want to tell you that I grew up in South Africa where race was an issue. And it is still an issue there. That is why South Africa has about the highest crime rates in the world. And that is why it's a country always at war with itself. You know why? Because of this race issue. And the same can be said about in the United States of America. The race issue. People divide themselves according to their races. Now let's go back to the South African issue. I grew up under apartheid in South Africa, and where people were divided into races. We had the white race, the colored race, the black race, the Indian race, the Chinese race. And they use the term races, so you grew up thinking that you were a separate race. They even had the term called separate development, which was one of the most vicious systems on the planet of the earth. Separate development, which was simply another word for downright racism. And there were some people who called themselves the Boers, the Boer race, the English race as against the non-white races. And that country was on the verge of a huge civil war because of that. And people, their self-confidence was utterly destroyed because of being put in races. And now the people who perpetrated that were not interested in bringing about peace in South Africa. It was like divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and rule. Well, I eventually left South Africa because I was absolutely tired about this race issue, because I didn't want to hear about it anymore. I didn't want to be put in any sort of race. Because hell, what the hell? You are a human. You are part of the human race inhabiting planet Earth. And that is the most important thing that you should remember. You are a part of the human family. Your brothers and sisters are all over the globe. You are not only just part of a certain race. You have the white race, they are this, and they have this sort of DNA. The black race, they have that and this and sort of DNA. That's a lot of bollocks, actually. I want to say that. I want to emphasize it. And those people, who I call race mongers, always emphasizing their so-called whiteness, their so-called blackness. And when people start doing that, the only reason that they want to do is to kill the others. And this is third dimensional frequencies. It is the lowest and lowest of frequencies you can have. It is absolutely dense. And these kind of frequencies are going to be destroyed completely when the earth ascends, when you and I ascend, because we are ascending this racial issue. You know, that is why even Jesus was made to look like a European. That's how far this racism went. You know, Jesus had blonde hair, he had blue eyes, and he had the appearance of a white person. Now, even that is untrue. Historically, it is untrue. Europeans never inhabited that part of the earth at the time of Jesus Christ. So if Jesus ever looked like anybody, he could have looked like me, you know, I would have fit the bill very well, you know. But I'm just saying. And so this important thing of race, it should be something that we should get our minds onto. That is a destructive force. And if you want to transcend it, because if you want to transcend it, leave it out, leave this racial nonsense out. Even in today's modern South Africa, the race issue is destroying the country. In the United States, the race issue is destroying the country. In Europe, the race issue will again destroy Europe. We got to get away from it. Absolutely. Human beings are human beings. Human beings have the same needs like everybody else. The same feelings, the same intellect. Now, some of these so-called racists who are giving historical facts on YouTube are claiming that the so-called Europeans have a higher IQ than the so-called blacks in Africa, which is a lot of bollocks, because IQ is not something that raises the standard of living. It is your emotional intelligence, not your IQ. Forget about that. Because when you have IQ and your emotionality is one of hatred, is one of separation, is one of the vindictiveness, then you can forget it completely. I'm saying this to you because when you have emotional intelligence, emotional is to love. It's the only factor is if we love each other unconditionally. Now, love doesn't mean you're going to take all the BS people are giving you. You don't have to take that at all. And when people are mobbing you or when people are bullying you, don't have to take that either. You don't have to take that. If anyone bullies you, you just know I'm a member of the human race. And I'm a child of the King. That's all. Your bloodline is you are a human being, a very absolutely wonderfully made human being. And so get that straight. So, this issue of race, transcend it. Forget about it, transcend it. You are a member, and we should all get rid of these divisions because these divisions are simply man-made. God never intended that for any one of us, so forget about that. And to claim that people of European descent have another DNA, and that is to falsify history, and that's to falsify the facts, and it makes you an extremely dangerous person to human beings. Let's end the apartheid amongst us. Let's end the division. Let's end this racial thinking. And remember, there are no races. We are only humans, human beings occupying this earth or living on planet Earth and evolving, making our way that our souls may evolve. And the only important thing is the divisions among us, forget it. We should see the commonalities amongst us. We should see the mutual things among us. We should see what unites us and not what divides us, but what unites us as human beings. And what unites us is our emotionality, the fact that we can love, that we have the capacity to love, we have the capacity to have compassion for others. And the only thing that I say, we have the freedom. And if anyone wants to limit the freedom of someone else, may they be damned. You don't limit anyone's freedom. All right? So the only thing that counts in the universe today is unconditional love and absolute freedom. Give yourself freedom and allow others to be free as well in what they think, in what they say, and how they say it. You have to allow people, it's because human beings have free choice, and this was given to us as a gift to humanity. So I would say to you all, namaste, let love be your guide. And if you have any difficulties in life, problems have beset you, ask only one question: what would love do about this? What would love do about this? And that's all. Now, I went through a lot of BS in my life, a lot of, I can't even think of the negative words anymore, you know, because being brought up in South Africa was was a horrendous experience, being brought up as a member of an inferior race. But I'm here in this wonderful country of Germany, where race is not an issue, or if it's an issue, it's not mentioned in public, which is a good thing. And so I was able to develop, heal in this wonderful country of Germany. So stay blessed and talk to you again. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.